Hey ceramics class, welcome back to day 3 of our slab work. Now today you're rolling out slabs for the final piece, which is going to be the milk carton shape. I keep referencing the same vase in all these videos. That's because this one's got the pattern design that I'm looking for the different things I'm trying to teach you. Number one, on those pattern designs, you're taking the stamps from the other day and you're going to be applying these stamps to the exterior surface of your milk carton design. Now, pattern is key. Make sure that you're consistent in how you're pressing these things down. Number one thing that I want to make sure that you're good on is that these strips are not the same size as the entire milk carton that you're working on. So as you're pressing down, you don't want to get the seam of the stamp into the clay. You want to try and keep it just to where it's just the surface elements of the stamp itself if you want that pattern design in there. This one's really good if you wanted to do like a crack antique finish to where you can see like it looks aged, where it's kind of broken apart, where the paint's been chipped. That's what that looks good for. If you want to know how to do glaze application for that, talk to me about it and we'll chat and figure that out. There is a little finesse in that way that you have to put it in there. It's going to be the Mishima technique, where you put in the design, glaze on top, and then scrape off the excess glaze so that your glaze is only in the filled sections of the overall design. Now, once you've gotten all those stamp pieces knocked out and you start putting those pieces together, slip is your best friend. Make sure you're using lots of slip, good thick slip, to add those pieces together. You don't want to make it super runny, because as you're dealing with the patterns, you don't want to use the slip that's too runny and it runs into the pattern that you've pressed in there over here on the side, so that your slip, as it goes over into some of those design aspects that you have, it fills in those spaces, and then your designs are not as clean and robust as they should be. Make sure that you're using slip that is a little thicker. You want it more of like I would consider closer to mastic, which is it's like a white paste putty that you're using if you're putting tiles down in a kitchen, and it holds the tiles on. It's a nice thick, it's like almost like super glue, but it's like really thick, like concrete mix. Make sure that it's a thick slip, so that as you're batting those pieces together, you get a nice chunky amount of wet clay in there, so that your pieces can be adhered and smooth and hydrated at the same rate. Everything works out really well, because that's one of those key things. Make sure your clay is hydrated at the same rate all across the overall piece. That way everything dries out at the same rate and it finishes off at the same rate. Makes it to where it doesn't crack as often that way. So keep those things in mind. And as you're adding the extra slip in there, you can chase that away later when you're cleaning up the edges, the joints of the overall piece. That's what I do, is I put a little extra in there just to give myself some insurance, and then I clean up afterwards, and all is well with the world and everything works out well. So, as always, if you guys have questions, you know where to find me. Other than that, I will see you guys next class. Until then, later guys.